V1, that is a $10 hour, and I very much appreciate it. Thank you very much. Just wanted to say I'm so tired of people acting like not winning anything that matters in X amount of years is something only unique to Notre Dame when 95% of every team is standing in the same line we are. Here's the difference, V1. There's a very, very logical response to this. A logical pushback is we have different standards than 95% of those other teams historically. That's where that comes from. That's why it's different. You can't have championship standards if you don't have a bunch of championships you won. And 95% of teams have none of that history we have of being elite, being the best, having the Heismans, having the All-Americans, having all those titles. So that's the difference between us and I acknowledge 95% of the other teams are in the same boat winning nothing. The difference is they've never won nothing. They've either never won nothing or they barely won anything. They do not have the robust elite history and success and lineage Notre Dame has. That is why there's a different standard and a different bar here in the fans' eyes. That's why. Because there was a history of excellence and you want to see that continue. You can't expect excellence if you never had it before. Like, you got to get there at a certain level and amount of times to be able to realistically expect that. Now, let me push back on my own response. I'm fair enough that I can push back on myself. My initial gut response is what I just said to you. If I was going to push back on me in a debate about this, the next thing I would say if I was you is, I would say, John, how long are you going to ride off standards from like when TV was black and white? You got to look at this in the last 35 years. We're just like all those other teams. Absolutely nothing. So how far is that history and all of that old success getting you? Aren't we far enough away from it? You need to come off your high horse and accept that the modern reality is we are 95% of those teams. And if you want to go there, I would have to agree with you factually and then be depressed. And then just be depressed. Like, big picture, my argument makes sense. If you break down the timeline into the modern era, then it falls apart. So I agree with you on that one. But I think that is why that's different with our fan base.